What is good, YouTube? Jujutsu Kaisen is back. We on chapter 260, baby. And in this video, we are going to learn what a Vibra Slap is. How did it affect Todo's powers? And what was that ending that we all just saw? I know y'all excited for that. But how the chapter starts with Todo revealing that his missing arm had been replaced with the instrument called the Vibra Slap. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, he kind of looks stupid. I kind of wish they would have replaced it with me- a mechanical arm more than this thing. But just to give you a brief summary on what a vibroslap is, it's a percussion instrument consisting of a piece of stiff wiring connecting a wooden ball to a hollow box of wood with metal teeth inside. The percussionist holds the metal wire in one hand and strikes the ball, usually against the palm of their other hand, producing a characteristic sound. It's pretty neat in the sense that he can now use his curse technique with this instrument, but the reasoning why is because he had gotten his hand cut off in the Shibuya incident. But because of this instrument, it allows him to swap people a total of 50 times a second, which is kind of crazy that he could do that 50 times a second. That's insane. But Todo imposed a binding vow to limit the number of swaps in proportion to the collision of the Vibra Slap, which means the more it swings back and forth, the more he can use it. So as long as it's swinging back and forth, the little ball, and he hits it, he can do it as many times as he wants. This is how Todo successfully expanded the curse technique targets to multiple targets and expanded the effective range of the technique, which is crazy how he got the sorcerers out when Sukuna released his domain. And that's how it is claimed that he really did get all them people out, which is good because Yuji was about to lose his will to live had Todo not did that. But then we get back to the fight with Todo and Yuji simultaneously attacking Sukuna, punching, kicking, knocking Sukuna around, and this is kind of leaving Sukuna clueless. Where then Sukuna thinks to himself that out of all the Jujutsu sorcerers, that Todo is the most self-centered and difficult to sway. And he appeared at the time where Sukuna did not want him to show up. And again, we see that Todo is extremely arrogant. We saw that when he kind of fought Megami. We also saw when he fought. We saw that he did this against Hanami. So what Sukuna is saying is not wrong. Wrong. And also, this is really high praise for Todo because it's making the suggestion that Todo could potentially have the ability to become a natural calamity, kind of like how Sukuna is. Not fully, but I think he could because of the fact that he disregards everything for himself. And just when we see that Todo tried to land a kick on Sukuna, Sukuna dodged it in midair, which is funny because Todo thinks to himself on that he was able to dodge in midair, but we've seen Maki do it, so it's kind of funny that Todo said that. That's when Yuji throws a rock towards Sukuna, and then Todo swaps the rock with Yuji, helping him to successfully land a strong kick on Sukuna. That's when Sukuna grabs Yuji's face and attempts to slash it. But Todo swaps Yuji again and continues to swaps as Yuji attacks Sukuna from his blind spot. And again, that's just a constant hitting the Vibra Slap. So that's pretty cool that we see that they work simultaneously great together. And this is when Sukuna starts to realize that Todo can change the maximum and minimum values of the number of swaps per single tap. He's thinking that it's practically impossible to get used to Boogie Woogie. But Sukuna has figured out a way to read when Todo might swap. Yuji hits Sukuna through the wall, but Sukuna was able to minimize the damage. Sukuna says that when Yuji focus is at its peak, that is when Todo will do the swap. Sukuna thinks that Todo may faint by not swapping Yuji as something else to trick his opponents. So he attempts to land a strong punch on Yuji and he begins to try to time this strong punch. But just when he's getting ready to hit Yuji, Mei Crow appears and Sukuna realizes his mistake of misreading Todo's move. Sukuna thinks that they swap with Mei Crow, so he quickly twists to his blind spot to land a kick. And we see that he got tricked again because Yuji wasn't even there. And that's Todo didn't even switch places at all. And that's when Yuji then lands another black flash. And Todo just says that it's a feint within a feint. So his battle IQ is really high. And I think they're going to need this when they're battling Sukuna. But after the black flash, Yuji uses his claws and starts piercing into Sukuna's stomach and continues to brutally tear him apart with a crazed look on his face. Even though we see that Yuji had pierced his chest, that's when Sukuna decided he's just going to try to expand his domain expansion. But that's when we see one of the biggest and craziest endings of all time in Jujutsu Kaisen. We see some doozies of endings in Jujutsu, but this one seems crazy because as he's getting ready to release his domain expansion, it suggested that the strongest ghost or the strongest spirit that Sukuna has killed has appeared. And that's when you see what looks to be Satoru Gojo. Even though I think it's just a vision because normally in Jujutsu Kaisen, when a person is close to death or they're about to die, they always see a vision of something. Sometimes it's even made with animals, but in this case, it's kind of like in the Shibuya incident when Nanami saw Haibara just before he died. And I think that is an indication that Sukuna might be close to death. Not saying he's about to die, but he might be close. Because now all of a sudden he's seeing a vision of Satoru Gojo. And also, this could be the work of all the binding vows he placed on himself. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this content, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.